Hey guys.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey,
Jordan.
welcome.
How we
Jordan.
doing? Good to see you. How you doing?
How you doing, man? The St. Mary's locker room is now open for student athlete availability, but we're joined right now by Jordan Hunter, Malik Fitz, and Jordan Ford. Here in the main interview room, they're going to be available for the next 15 minutes or so to take your questions. Just a reminder, if you're joining us in the main interview room, please refrain from any video taking of any kind, including ENG cameras, mini cameras, and cell phone or social media video. Photos are allowed as long as there's no flash. And with that, we have Jordan, Malik, and Jordan ready for your questions. If you have a question for the St. Mary's student athletes, please raise your hand, and we'll send one of our microphone attendants to you. Let's start on the left side, right off the aisle.
What's up, guys? Adam Betts with the Journal-Inquirer. It's a question for really all three of you. You guys beat a good Gonzaga team in the WCC finals. What do you need to do to keep up that momentum against the reigning national champions in your first round game?
We're going to go right down the line. So Jordan Hunter, Malik, and then Jordan Ford.
Just got to keep building on what we accomplished towards the end of the season. We grew a lot as a team, especially down the stretch. So we just need to keep getting better, even this late in the season.
To piggyback what he said is just keep our intensity on the defensive end. Lately, we've been doing a pretty good job of defending. And I think these guys, every one of our coaches, staff, our players have a good mindset of coming to this game defending as well.
Pretty much what Malik said. On the defensive end, we've gotten a lot better, and it always starts right there for us. We're able to beat good teams when we're good on the defensive end, and the offense will take care of itself.
Continuing with questions for the student athletes from St. Mary's. If you have one, raise your hand. In the center of the room. Let's bring up a microphone. Taylor? Oh, you have one already?
Yep.
That's amazing. I didn't even see that. On the right. Go ahead.
Bill Paxton, San Francisco Chronicle. Can you guys talk a little bit about having to play Villanova right off the bat? I mean, national champions. Obviously, in the past, you guys have had, not you were on the team, but you had success against Villanova in the tournament, but just getting them right off the bat.
I mean, there's no bad teams in this tournament, so we were ready for whoever they threw at us, and we're excited to play a great program. 2 out of the last 3 national champs, so we couldn't want it any other way.
Continuing with questions across the aisle, same mic. Mike.
Mike Abelson, New Hampshire Union leader. Malik, you played prep ball at Brewster. Talked with Coach Smith earlier this week. He speaks quite highly of you. He's very excited to see you this weekend. How did your time at Brewster help prepare you to become, a top scorer for a team like St. Mary's?
I would say, it was college-like, the 20-minute halves. I would say, just the intensity, the guys we were playing against. I played against a lot of really good guys. I just think that it just got me prepared by just, mentally and physically. I would say that when I graduated, before I did my prep year, I would say I wasn't ready for college yet. So that year helped me get, a better experience. It helped me to get stronger and also just to, prepare for moments like this and then just to get ready for the big stage.
Continuing with questions for Jordan, Malik, and Jordan. If you have a question, please raise your hand. 2 more, both in the center. Start on the right.
For all three of you guys, you've been very solid defensively, particularly I think 7 of the last 8 games. You really shut teams down. And you've really been good at shutting down 3-point shooters. Why has that been? And obviously you're going up against Villanova that likes to shoot the 3 a lot.
Jordan Hunter first, then Malik, then Jordan Ford.
We took a pretty bad L to Gonzaga a few weeks back, and we got in the film room and on the court as well, and it was a real conscientious effort just to lift intensity. And a lot of the defensive end for us is just effort-based, so we just had to switch on and lock in, and we were able to translate that to games down the stretch run.
To go off of what he said, to start of the year, we were pretty well defensively. And like he said, I would say that after the Gonzaga game, they got us pretty well. And then I would say after that, a lot of guys went back into the film room. Practice was heavy defense. A lot of guys locked in. Everyone was locked in. And then the hard work paid off. I would say they paid off at the right time. A lot of guys started defending well. And like you said, we've been holding teams to a really low percentage on the field, on a 3-point percentage, on the 3-point line. Sorry about that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, our team has a lot of pride, and our team is full of competitors. So we weren't okay with losing by 48 to Gonzaga, and we took it very seriously to get better on the defensive end, and it's really paid off for us.
Mike Abelson, New Hampshire Union leader, is going to direct this at Jordan Ford. How have you guys been acclimating to the time change?
Well, I got a good nap on the plane, so I'm doing all right. But no, we just try to get to sleep early and try to hydrate ourselves as best we can, and I think we're getting acclimated pretty well.
Continuing with questions for the student athletes from St. Mary's. Let's go to the right side. Ken?
Ken Davis, Hartford AP. Can you guys just talk about, do you think the NCAA fans will be watching you in a different way now after you beat Gonzaga in this championship game? And what's it like all the time to sort of maybe be in their shadow? I don't know how you perceive that, but could you kind of address that?
We'll do the same thing. We'll come down the line with Jordan, Malik, and then Jordan.
We're still going to go in with that underdog mentality, and Gonzaga's a great program. We have no shame being in their league with their dominance. So we're coming into this tournament. People think it was a fluke us beating Gonzaga, so we got to prove that we're capable of doing more than just one great win.
Yeah, like you said, it was a great win for us, but I know me personally and a lot of these guys really aren't satisfied for that win. You know, it was a great win, and then now it's time to, I would say, turn it up a notch. But we can't everyone, our coaching staff, we don't really what do you call it? Listen to the gas, as they would say. So we know that that's in the past now, but we play tomorrow. So the only thing we can focus on is just tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't think we're living in anybody's shadows. We're just gonna try and go out there and play the best game we can and compete against Villanova and hopefully come out with a win.
Continuing with questions for the student athletes, Mike in the center.
Malik, who has the best facial hair on the team?
Come on now, you're looking at him. I don't know.
Come on, man.
I would say one of them isn't here right now, but probably our big man, Jock Perry, between everyone. He has a nice little facial hair going on, but don't sleep on me. I'm coming up. Don't worry.
Any facial hair responses by any of the Jordans?
He's just being a bit ignorant. It's all right. The lights are on and he's panicking.
Continuing with questions for the student athletes from St. Mary's. Ken?
Can you guys just talk about what it's like to play for Coach Bennett, and another kind of like what I just asked a minute ago about reputation and everything? Do you think he's well known at all nationally? Do you think people give him respect for what he's accomplished?
We'll go right down the line again.
Coach is a fantastic basketball mind, and he expects and demands the best out of us, and he brings the best effort out of us every game. And whether he's nationally recognized or not, I don't think that's his concern. But we're just doing our part over in Little Moraga, making sure we're winning games. And if it's on the big stage, it's on the big stage. We're ready.
Yeah. If he doesn't have the recognition, then I believe that he should. I mean, he's one of the best coaches. He has, as far as I remember, he has one of the top 10 coaches, or he's still one of the coaches with, I believe, 400 wins or something like that. But yeah, he's really big on character, and a lot of our guys on our team are really, I would say, really good about that, and that's what brought us to this moment right here. Everyone stayed together.
Yeah, piggybacking off that, the great thing about Coach Bennett is that he's not worried about what other people think of him. He's worried about what's going on in that locker room and with our guys. And like Jordy said, he demands the best out of us every single night that we step on the floor, and that makes sure that I bring my best effort, which I've gotten better at since I came in as a freshman.
We do have time for one or two more for the student athletes from St. Mary's, if there are any. Any more questions for Jordan, Malik, or Jordan? All right, we want to thank Jordan, Malik, and Jordan for joining us here in the main interview room. They're going to head back to the locker room right now and rejoin the rest of their teammates for about 20 minutes of your questions and answers down there in the locker room. And we'll have head coach Randy Bennett, known throughout the country and across the world, back here in just about 5 minutes in the main interview room. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
guys.
you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. No autographs of Coach Bennett once he arrives. Sure. Fragrance or all right. Looks like Under Armour. He's wearing Baltimore. Ready. Hey, Coach.
How you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
Good.
Good to see you. Congrats. Yeah. Good. We're joined now by St. Mary's head coach Randy Bennett. We're going to ask Coach to give us a couple thoughts in terms of an opening statement, and then we'll take some questions. Coach.
Yeah, we're just excited to be playing in this tournament, coming out here and playing in Hartford and playing against the defending national champion. So I think that's where we're at. We've had a heck of a run to get here, and pumped to be playing in the tournament again.
Coach Bennett will join us until 4:45. The St. Mary's locker room is open for your questions with student athletes until that time as well. We'll take the first question for Coach Bennett here in the main interview room right now. Let's go all the way to the left side. Please remember your name and media outlet before your question.
What's up, Coach? This is Adam Betts with the Journal-Inquirer. I was wondering, what do you need to do? You just came off a big win against Gonzaga in the WCCC finals. What do you need to do to keep that momentum going up against Villanova?
You know, it's for lack of a lot of time, we have to play well. So, and when you go to the NCAA tournament, anybody you come up against is pretty good and pretty confident and been on a run of some sort. So you have to get your team to kind of relax. They're obviously going to be nervous, but you can't be nervous long. You have to perform, and so that's what we've been trying to work on, and that's been trying to get used to the court today and go our 40 minutes out there. But we need to play well early in that game.
Continuing with questions for Coach Bennett. Let's go down front.
How you doing, Coach? Bill Paxton for the San Francisco Chronicle. You guys have really made a commitment to defense after that loss to Gonzaga. Can you explain how that came about? And I mean, you guys really clamped down on teams of late.
I honestly can't tell you why it turned then. We were working on it. We knew we were deficient defensively. We had to play. Our numbers needed to be better. And for whatever reason, that game, which we weren't very good defensively in, at Gonzaga, we turned it around after that. Maybe it was maybe we needed to see that. Maybe that woke us up a little bit. I don't know, but we had been working on it for a while, and you're right. Since then, we've put up good defensive numbers. We've totally changed as a defensive team, and we went on the road and won 3 out of 4, and really guarded a couple good teams on the road, and that is the reason we turned it around and finished. I think we won 7 of our last 8, but a lot of those games weren't close. Like we went down to San Diego and we were up 20 at one point, and they're a really good offensive team. So it's a lot of guys made some changes, but that's what happened with our team. That's why we're playing in the NCAA tournament tomorrow.
Toward the center of the room, Joe.
Joe Giuliano, Philadelphia Inquirer. Coach, when Coach Wright saw them pairing, he immediately went back to 2010. And I know it's like a million years ago, but what did that win do for your program, winning such a high-profile game as an underdog like that?
That win was probably the biggest win in St. Mary's program history. And everybody remembers it back in California. And it was it kind of came out of nowhere. We had a special group of guys, and Omar Samhan was our leader and our top scorer, but we had Dova turned out to be a pretty good player, and Mickey McConnell was a pretty good player. But we had a good group. We remember it. It's a historical moment, and yeah, I'm sure he thought about that as well. Unfortunately.
On the right side, Mike.
Mike Abelson, New Hampshire Union leader. Randy, when was the last time your teams played on the East Coast, and how are you handling the time change?
I don't know last time. Probably NCAA tournament. It's the last time we came out to the East Coast, unless you count Western Kentucky. But that is the time zone. But we handle it by getting out here extra day early. I think that's key, and try and get your guys on that. It's a long trip, so you got to get your kids adjusted and get them on the time, get their bodies adjusted a little bit. So other than that, nothing else. So we played pretty good at Western Kentucky. I think we played well on it last time when we came out here and played up in Providence.
Continuing with questions for Coach Bennett, back to the middle. Joe first on the left.
Randy, you have quite a few Australians and New Zealanders on your team in the mass shooting from last Friday. What effect did you think that had on your players as a whole, and especially the two from New Zealand?
You know, I don't want to seem insensitive, but they didn't have a. I don't think our kids would be concerned on something like that, and would be worried about our two players from New Zealand. But it wasn't a big topic when it happened. So for whatever reason, so I think our guys are good on that. I talked to our two New Zealanders, and they were, it's just a sad event, and I don't know. In life, you have to deal with those things and move on. And we try and make sure our players are okay on those situations. I think they are. I can't say, hey, everything's okie dokie, but it was. I think our guys have done a good job with it.
Continuing with questions for Coach Bennett, we have one from Bill, right of the aisle.
Coach, just building on the defensive thing, how much of a challenge is it to stop Villanova tomorrow night, and have you played any teams similar to them this year?
Yeah, we played some teams similar to Villanova as far as what I've seen on film, watching them, and the challenge is they gear their game towards getting threes. They hit over 10 a game, which is probably the highest. That's the highest number of anybody we played this year. But they're a little bit like Gonzaga defensively, how they play, how they switch a lot of ball screens and switch a lot of things. So they're a little bit like them, and then they're a little bit like San Diego as far as how they attack you to get threes. I mean, they're more than threes. They'll take it to the hole, and they have some really good players scoring it inside the paint. But the big part of their deal is they're going to make you help and kick out, and they have some really good shooters, and they can put 5 guys out there that can shoot the three at the same time. They really don't. I guess their backup center is a little bit. He's a true center, but that's the only guy they have on the team that's a true center. So they always put you in a position where you have to decide where you're going to get help from on their penetration, and from there they'll find that and play off that and get open threes, or turn it to a second penetration and get another three. So they just kind of wear you down with that game. Familiar with it. Like, we see that a lot out west, maybe not with the same caliber players that Villanova is playing with.
Let's go to the center of the room. Ken?
Coach Ken Davis from the Associated Press in Hartford. Obviously, this isn't your first NCAA appearance. You've had a lot of 20-win seasons. You've won 400 games. People who are avid college basketball fans know about St. Mary's. But if you could what would you like people to learn about your program as a result of this particular appearance right after beating the #1 team in the country?
I think you kind of said it. Like, we've been consistent. I think we pride ourselves on being efficient, and that's in player development, recruiting, the whole deal. But I think we get good players that are high character kids, and they're trying to be part of a program or part of a thing that's bigger than them. I think it's hard to find guys like that nowadays, but we really try, and we try and coach them that way. So I think we've been efficient. We've been really efficient for the last 12 years, and even longer than that. But for the last 12 years, had a really good run. And this year I take a lot of pride in this year's team because we basically started from scratch. We had 2 guys return that played a lot for us last year, and that was Tanner Krebs and Jordan Ford. But neither of those guys were our go-to guys last year. So every guy, and that's what's happened with our team, every guy's had to make a move and improve and take on a new role. And a guy like Kuzi, he wasn't even playing for us for 7 games, and we moved him in the lineup, and he's grown into a pretty good player. Midas Toss was a freshman, and early he wasn't playing. Now he's become a good third inside guy for us. So, and then Jordan Hunter came off back surgery. He was out for 4 or 5 months, and for him to step in and continue to improve. I think he first started playing again late September. First started being able to go 5-on-5. For him to make that, have this kind of year, and he's really come on down the stretch. Those are things that they had to happen if we were going to be good. And so for these guys to get, and we're not really I don't think we're a one-shot wonder. Like, we could have got in the tournament if we didn't win the conference tournament. We might have. I'm sure glad we didn't have to go through that again, though. But these guys turned themselves into another good team. So I'm really proud of them to do that. They could have easily gotten a lot of different directions. I tell them that they're pretty tough. They're really resilient because I think we were 13-9, 4-3 at one point, and they hung in there. They stayed together. You couldn't get them to go sideways, and we came on down the stretch, fortunately, and had a huge win to get us in this tournament. But that's what I'm most proud of, is all these groups of guys over the years have been pretty consistent, pretty efficient, and really high-character kids.
We have time for one more question for Coach Bennett, if there is one. With no more questions, we want to thank Coach Bennett for coming to the main interview room. The St. Mary's locker room will be closed shortly. And we want to wish Coach the best of luck tomorrow, and we'll see you after the game.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
We'll be joined next at 5 p.m. by student-athletes from the Old Dominion Monarchs, and Coach Jeff Jones will follow those student-athletes' availability time. Thank you.